I want to welcome Sonali Banerjee ma'am to dais. So I guess over to Sonali ma'am right now to share her journey, and she has started her entrepreneurial journey few months back now. So I guess it's our duty to support her in whatever capacity we can. So over to you, ma'am.
So good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to thank Prateek and his team for giving me this opportunity to be on the dais today and share a bit of my journey. But when I look around in the audience, I know most of us are from the same background and we know each other quite very well, so there is no need to get too much into the elaboration part of that. And a little bit, I would also like to share about the challenges that, any entrepreneur, particularly in the maritime domain, that they would be facing, and how we expect that, what can be done really to make all this initiative about Make in India, the shipbuilding and all that that is there, to make it really a meaningful initiative. So, coming to the context that, as Prateek rightly stated, that I was the first, India's first lady marine engineer to be undertaking the professional studies formally, and then joining the ship and being in the ship's engine room. So I would not be talking too much about the data, because a lot of data is already available about women in maritime. They are 2%, and majority of them on the passenger ships and cargo ship and all the data. But when I stand here on this dais and when I interact with the industry, the greatest pleasure that I get is when I see and go back. I'm a girl coming from Allahabad, and those who are from the places like UP, Bihar, Rajasthan, they know that, this I'm talking about, say, 2 decades back, how that kind of a patriarchal setup was there, and what was really expected from women in those days in that context. Now, women who belong to, say, the metropolitan cities like Mumbai, Delhi, or for that matter, Calcutta, Bangalore, they would have a very different launching platform. They would have a different starting point. But when we talk of girls, where the majority of the India still lives, that is our villages, that is our B towns, so they have a really different starting point, and to be able to give them an equitable platform, that is where the work at the grassroots level has to begin. And because if we want to really think about bringing about some meaningful change into the landscape, my firm belief has been that we really have to work at the grassroots level. Not just about going by fanciful figures, that when we talk about women in maritime, so we understand that maybe we will induct somebody at the reception and, somebody at the accountants level and all that stuff, and then we will just give the numbers that, the numbers have really come up. But if the challenging domain is still about women who want to really work into the technological side of it, and we know that, accepting them within the system, it's still a bit of a challenge. There are still some biases exist, and Romita is also there. She has been an electrical officer, and the industry has really supported us. They have believed in a vision that maybe the governments, the IMO, the UN, they must have thought of, and then they went ahead with believing and giving women that kind of platform share alongside the men. And now we can really have the numbers. We see that the numbers have substantially gone up to compare to what it was when we started our journey, the pioneer women in the maritime. So having had said that, I would like to not take more time and come to the entrepreneurial part of my journey. So I know especially the maritime domain is an extremely capital intensive domain. Anything that we want to talk about, say starting about a ship repair facility or a shipyard or anything into owning asset, managing them, it is a very capital intensive. And one of the biggest challenges which I feel the industry experiences in this is the cash flows are a very big issue. A lot of them, a lot of us don't come from backgrounds wherein, we don't have somebody at the background like a Hirandani to give us a launching platform, give us the seed funding, and, we can just take off with setting up the whole system the way we would want to. We have to start from the scratch. We have to struggle at each stage, and getting that kind of a quality deliverables depends on so many other aspects apart from just the skill set that is required, or the competency that is required to execute that job. So there are challenges. There are primarily, I feel, because my company Vesselfix will be looking into ship repairs, dry docks, and owning of small marine assets. So cash flows definitely are an issue. The seed funding, and there's a typical tendency within the Indian context that, once the service has been delivered, they may not want to honor the terms and conditions that was initially agreed upon, and then they start negotiating, and all those. I mean, it's better not spoken about that. And a lot of you can really relate to it. So those issues are there, and we have also been thinking about getting into manufacturing of small equipment, that is coming to the marine ancillary industry. We have been thinking about developing small products like, say, a sewage treatment plant, or an ICCP, or an MGPS systems, which maybe in the life cycle of the ship, there will be only a single installation to that. Now, the certifications are, again, a very big issue. I mean, there are timelines to it, and the volumes, if we talk of the Indian shipbuilding domain, we don't get that kind of a volume that we will be able to scale up. On top of that, if we want to compete internationally, say, pollution prevention equipment, however small it may be, the acceptance for a vessel which will be plying on various PSUs, PSCs, and MOUs, it will be going through. So for the acceptance of those companies with that kind of a product is, again, we really don't know the timelines by which we will be able to break even and get into those dimensions of this kind of a business, wherein we want to develop that ancillary, but we really don't know. It's all very unforeseen, very unpredictable, and we really don't know when and how it's going to be. So I feel there is a lot of potential there, but we really don't know that when we will be able to achieve that. On top of that, the fundings and all that schemes by the government, they are not very easy to access, and the guidance to them is also not very lucid for the people who are just starting their journey to be able to understand and be able to avail all of that. So that has been my experience in the industry so far. I will not be taking too much of Prateek's time, because I think we are already running behind schedule, and we can discuss after, when we again have a short break, and we can discuss further, and whatever mutual collaborations we can have, we are open to that. Our company is open to that, and that will be all from my side. Thank you.
Round of applause for ma'am.